been paid. 1,000 more fools are being born every fucking day.
Tonight's show is brought to you by...
You went dark on Twitter for 12 hours to show solidarity with the black community. Nobody even noticed. So you did an interpretive TikTok dance to a Kendrick Lamar song to take responsibility for your racist ancestry. No one cared. So you left your apartment, you went to a BLM protest, and you got down on your knees to literally wash a black man's feet. But still, it just wasn't enough. So if you're feeling like you're straight out of options, Dr. Fellsmere's here to help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jack Fellsmere of Fellsmere Plastic and Laser Center in Beverly Hills, California. And if you're sick and tired of constantly having to apologize for your white privilege, I've got a solution for you. You see, with my new patented deep tissue melanin injection treatment, I can permanently dye your skin to turn you into an African American.
My name's Madeline Peterson of Calabasas. At least it used to be. Now you can call me Monique from Compton. Thanks, Dr. Fellsmere. I no longer carry the burden of being a racist white oppressor.
Don't delay! Be like Monique and many more satisfied customers. Sign up today! Trust me, when you walk out of my office, you're going to be the only black in Beverly Hills.
Hello and welcome to episode 34 of the War on Morons, where we speak truth to stupidity. I'm Anissa.
And I'm Jay.
And I gotta say, you've got to start screening these people before you just sell them ad time. I mean, that was outrageous.
But look, he gave us $100 for that ad spot. And if anybody listening out there, I don't care what the hell you're selling.
I do.
I don't know if you've been watching the news lately, but there's a lot of good reasons that people might want it. What did you say? Deep tissue melanin injections?
You know what?
Then nobody can say you're racist.
No. That's incredibly
Call
horrible.
Dr. Fellsmere today.
Stop.
Every time I say Fellsmere, I get $20.
No more.
All right, I'll let it go.
Anyway, all that aside, we're thinking it might be time to start our own autonomous zone because it looks like the morons might just have a stranglehold on America. I mean, on the one hand, it's kind of great because it is an endless source of material for the show each week, but on the other, things are getting kind of scary out there, right?
I don't know, man. Running an independent state sounds like a lot of work. I think I'm just going to move to Chud.
Chud? You mean Chop?
Chop? No, what, like the cooking show?
Cooking shows? No, I'm talking about the autonomous zone. Remember last week they were calling it Chaz?
Right. Chaz, Chug, Chum, Shart, whatever those malnourished commie hipsters are calling it out in Seattle. I figure instead of starting our own, we should just go over there and take that place over.
Who would frickin' want it? Anyway, before we go way off track, let's just take a step back and thank everyone for tuning into tonight's show.
Good call. All right. Thanks, everyone, as always, for joining us. If you're a fan of the show, and if you want to take part in the fight against the morons, it's easy. Subscribe for free at thewaronmorons.podbean.com so you never miss an episode, and sometimes so you get an episode a couple days early.
Absolutely. Also call our call-in line so you can be a part of the show at 813-906-9099. Call in and tell us what you think about the show, give us your take on the stories we cover, or maybe give us a take on a moron in the headlines or in your own life.
And last but not least, we need more soldiers on the front line of foolishness, and your support is what keeps us on the air. So if you like the show, follow us on YouTube, give us a like at facebook.com/waronmorons, leave a review with your favorite podcast app, or best of all, share it with your friends.
Absolutely. Now for this week's Top Morons. Our first story of the week is a couple weeks old, but we just couldn't let this dangerous stupidity go without comment as a reckless, evil racetrack in Alamance County, North Carolina, attempted to avoid social distancing rules earlier this month by billing a car race as a protest and drawing a crowd of 2,000 people to an event.
My God, that's practically mass murder in the age of the Rona.
Well, thankfully, the local government put a stop to this and sent the health department to shut them down. After all, there is absolutely nothing more dangerous than a couple thousand people trying to enjoy a night out at the stock car race.
Well, the good news is that by now, since it's been about 2 weeks since the race, I'm sure that most of those selfish bastards are dead.
Ah, amen. Well, anyway, in a completely unrelated event in a city with 104 times the population density as Alamance County, and in a state with 21 times the reported coronavirus deaths as North Carolina, 15,000 people marched in Brooklyn for Black trans lives just a few days later and were universally celebrated in the mainstream media. So, does this mean CNN, the New York Times, and their ilk want Black trans people, their loved ones, and the people of New York to suffocate to death on ventilators? Or does it mean the coronavirus isn't a threat?
Well, there is one other option. Maybe rioting for social justice makes you immune to disease.
That must be it. Why didn't we think of it sooner? You know what? Either way, that won't keep you safe from karma. So let's head to Virginia, where iconoclasty turned into a trip to the ICU and a medically induced coma for one rioter as he joined a group of rowdy Black Lives Matter supporters to attend a monument in to attack a monument in Portsmouth.
I was going to say, to attend a monument, that'd be nice. Maybe they're ready for, a civics lesson. They want to, bone up on their history. You know what? Let's stop just destroying everything, guys. Let's calm down. I heard there's a really great Civil War statue downtown. Let's just go there and read the plaque on it and see if we can learn a little bit more about our shared history and come together.
Nope, that's never going to happen.
God damn it.
The tables turned when pieces of a stone statue of a Confederate soldier fell onto the rioter's head and left his skull showing.
Hey, ironically, this was the first time a member of the Confederacy has actually harmed a black person in a century and a half.
The whole thing was caught on video, and frankly, it was pretty gruesome.
Yeah, that's going to happen. And anybody out there in the War on Morons audience, if you were planning on yanking down a 30-foot piece of solid rock with a few of your friends, just be aware that this could happen to you too.
Yeah, it's kind of like an occupational hazard at that point. Apparently, this particular protester wasn't at the top of his physics class.
Or his history class.
Well, speaking of history class, Confederate statues haven't been the only targets of BLM and Antifa rage over the past couple weeks. In fact, rioters in Boston actually defaced a Civil War monument honoring the 54th Massachusetts Regiment.
Oh, yeah, because, when I think about the heart of the Confederacy and slavery, I think of Massachusetts.
Well, it gets even richer than that, because that monument honors the first volunteer all-black regiment of the Union Civil War soldiers.
Oh, my God. No, wait, yes, you're right. That's the Glory Regiment. Like the movie, I think it was Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
So they are... Okay, so these are literally black soldiers who sacrificed their own lives to fight slavery. If they had been captured by the Confederates, they could have actually been enslaved themselves. But that's who the people that say that Black Lives Matter, that's who they want to graffiti all over and take hammers to.
It just goes to show that these people aren't fighting for a cause. They're fighting to destroy everything we know and love. Life as we know it, they want to completely dismantle.
Yeah, honestly, kind of having a little bit of fun on the show today, but this is, really gross. And it's been like this all over the world and with anything from history. These idiots have also defaced, damaged, or demanded the removal of monuments devoted to such monsters of history as Abraham Lincoln, freer of the slaves, Mahatma Gandhi, who got independence for the Indians from Britain, and of course, speaking of Britain, history's fiercest opponent of actual Nazis, Winston Churchill. But not surprisingly, the statue of Vladimir Lenin is still standing in Seattle.
And not to get too off track here, but this seems like a good time to bring up the fact that these same people are actually fighting to rename Columbus, Ohio as Flavortown.
Yes. Well, it's because, what's the Flavortown dude's name?
Guy Fieri?
Yeah, he's from Flavortown. I was going to say that, the capital of Ohio, but I don't want to use the name of Christopher Columbus.
I just can't.
I don't want to offend any of our listeners out there.
It's getting harder and harder to parody these people.
He was genocidal.
But worry not, because as destructive communists and so-called anarchists continue to wreak havoc across the nation, at least they won't have to worry about putting together the money for bail, as a group of Hollywood liberals like Patton Oswalt, Mark Ruffalo, Seth Rogen, and other policy geniuses have started to fund to bail out rioters arrested in these violent protests.
Perfect. That's what I want these Hollywood guys spending their money on. Taking people that are literally destroying our neighborhoods, destroying our culture, and paying to get them out of jail and back into the streets. I mean, it's not like most of these Antifa types have a savings account or a job and can do it themselves. They can't even afford soap.
Well, that part might be a lifestyle choice.
Yeah, either way, tune in over the next week or two for some delicious irony as these celebrities' neighborhoods are looted and as they're canceled by the mob for edgy tweets made in 2013.
And get excited because as soon as it starts happening, they're not going to have anyone to call.
Yep.
You're going to call the police and they're going to be like, sorry, we got defunded, so good luck defending your home with, your tweets and hashtag Black Lives Matter because...
Yeah.
That ain't gonna stop it.
Thanks for apologizing for racism or whatever. and honestly, it even gets better because I saw a follow-up to this story. It turns out that all the money that these millionaire idiot celebrity altruists raised, it's not even going to these protesters.
What? Where's it going?
Probably to Hillary Clinton or something. According to the report from the Daily Wire earlier this week, despite raising $30 million... only $200,000 has gone toward paying for anybody's bail.
Look, to be fair, this isn't the first time Steve Carell's disappointed a lot of people, okay?
Yeah, Space Force was kind of a disappointment.
But at the same time, I mean, I have to say, this is just common sense. People say, if you're going to give to a charity, you have to research that charity. Like, there are a lot of charities that pop up, and the money doesn't go where they say it's going to go. This is just another example of where common sense could have prevented a lot of idiocy.
Yeah, because that's 99% of the money is not going to bail. So, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to the DNC.
Yep. Looks like we're getting a call-in on the call-in line.
Yeah, 773 area code. I think that's like Chicagoland.
Yeah, let's pick it up, see what's going on.
All right, caller, state your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, my name's Dave. I'm from Chicago. I have a story I have to tell about something that happened to me on the hotel, okay?
What? I can't understand a word you're saying.
Yeah, I forgot I was wearing my face mask. You couldn't understand me?
No, not at all.
I'm sorry, my name is David. I come from Chicago. I wanted to tell you a story about something that happened to me earlier this week. I haven't told anybody yet, but it was a really bad story that happened to me. I was a victim of police brutality.
Oh, God, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and I'm not a minority, I'm a little person. So it's kind of, I think it's kind of relevant. A lot of people probably want to hear about it, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we'd love to hear your story. So when you say little person, do you mean like you were born with dwarfism?
Yes, I'm a little person, and they took it, hold on one second. Yeah, I think I want to get the, number 2. Does that come with pickles?
Excuse me?
Can you, hold on a second, I'm ordering a burger, hold on. I don't want the pickles.
Could you not?
The pickles, and can you put extra mayo on it? But not too much mayo. Last time you guys, you went crazy with it. I felt like I was, some kind of, yeah.
David!
Hold on one second. Mr. Pin. Yeah. What do you mean you don't got Mr. Pin? Just give me a fucking water. Alright. Thank you. I'll be here. Alright, sorry, I was just ordering my lunch.
Did you really have to call us while you're at the drive-thru? Like...
Well, I wanted to make sure I could get through, and, I guess, you don't have a lot of people calling in, or what, you just went right to you?
Well, I mean, you're our first caller of the night, but, you certainly could have called in later. I mean, anyways, why don't you just tell us your story?
Yeah, so, anyway... Thank you. Keep the change.
Oh, my God.
So anyway, I think it was because I'm a little person, the reason that these police... did what they did, and I don't know what I should do. I mean, what am I going to do, press charges? The DA, he's probably going to do the same thing, because hold on 1 second, I'm not sure, hold on.
Wait, David, no,
yeah. I don't know, I'm trying to get downtown, my GPS isn't really working, because I'm on the phone, so I can't use my Google Maps. Yeah. Which way is 54th? Okay. Oh, so I take a left. Okay. All right, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Sorry, I kind of got mixed up. When I went to the White Castle there, I haven't been to this particular location before, but he gave me the good directions. A lot of people don't understand. It's not you don't have to be ashamed to ask for directions.
Are you good? Are you good to tell us your story now?
Oh, about the police brutality?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a horrible experience. I mean, when I think about it, it just traumatizes me. It was a couple days ago, and there was members of the Chicago police. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Hey, Bud. Where you going? You waiting for the bus? Come on, buddy. Hold on.
David, if you don't... David, if
you can't even stop in the middle of the road anymore.
If you don't tell us your freaking story...
Hey, Mark. Yeah, no, I'm on the phone with the radio. No, I got a contest or anything. Which way are you going? Michigan Avenue? Yeah, I'll drop you off. Yeah. Anyway, let me just finish talking to the lady from the radio. Hey, sorry about that. I haven't seen that guy in like 2 months.
Honestly, this is so rude, Dave. We have a show to do, so if you can't tell us your story, then I'm going to have to let you go.
Yeah, no, I've been wanting to tell my story because it was horrible. The police beat me. They brutalized me. So
well, were you at a protest?
No, I wasn't protesting. I was going into this bar, and I went in there, to O'Malley's, and I went in to order my drink, but there were all these cops there from the Chicago Police Department, and would you believe it, they thought that I hate to say it, but I'll just say what they said. They said, "Are you the midget for the midget tossing?" Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they thought you were the midget for the midget tossing?
I mean, that's pretty rude.
They thought I was the midget. They thought I was a different little person just because I'm a little person. And I said, no, I'm not. I just came here to get a shot in the beer. And next thing you know, they put me in a helmet. They put me in a Superman T-shirt. And they started chucking me around the bar like I'm a softball or something.
Oh my God!
The police did it to me. They were police.
How do you know they were police? Were they wearing their uniforms?
Oh no, they weren't. They just seemed, they seemed like they were cops. And they only gave me $100 and they only gave me a $20 tip. And I mean, normally, when I'm doing my dwarf crossing routine, I get at least a 35% tip.
Wait a minute, so you actually do participate in dwarf tossing?
I mean, all right, I'll be honest with you. I was the dwarf for the event. I just was a little late. I kind of felt like they stiffed me.
Oh my God. I can't believe you came on this show for how long. You dragged this out saying you were a victim of police brutality. This is outrageous. Do us a favor and don't call again.
Defund the police.
What the hell was that dude's deal? I mean, first of all, Why did he even call us? He had like a million things going on.
I mean, I thought we were getting some kind of an exclusive for a minute. I thought this was going to put us on the map.
Right.
I'm assuming that's why you let him keep rambling on, or...
Yeah, I thought he was going to tell us a really juicy story about the police brutalizing him, and then it turns out we don't even know if they were cops. They were just dudes at a bar that hired him for this.
And who still... I mean, maybe I'm judging, but who... I didn't think dwarf tossing was still a thing.
I didn't know it ever was a thing. It should not be a thing.
It sounds like it's his job.
All right, look, let's just move on.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Let's move on to some other types of insanity. How about some COVID-related stories? Because apparently that's still a thing.
Hey, it's never going to go away, apparently.
Well, remember when the distillery stopped making alcohol and started making hand sanitizer?
Do I ever? It was like the worst. You know, you want to get a nice frickin'... I mean, I just don't understand why they'd have to do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, people didn't stop drinking, that's for sure.
I didn't.
But one Australian distillery had to recall bottles of their gin after accidentally selling bottles full of hand sanitizer. One shot of that'll knock you straight out.
Seriously, though, that's why companies need to, stick to what they know. Like, I'm pretty sure that you're not going to see Clorox and Purell pumping out hard seltzers and cocktail mixers once this is all over.
Oh, God, I can only imagine. Meanwhile, some inadvertently suicidal idiots are cutting out the middleman. And Americans are apparently drinking bleach and dunking food in it to prevent COVID-19.
Still? Like, is this old? Like, what's the date on this article?
Believe it or not, it's from earlier this month.
Oh, my God.
Here's a freaking gem of a quote, by the way.
Okay.
The most common risky practice was washing fruits, vegetables, and other foods in bleach solutions. A total of 19% said they did this.
Yeah, that's nothing new.
What?
How do you think they make cauliflower out of broccoli?
That's not a thing. I've told you that's not a thing.
It's bleached broccoli, and no one's gonna convince me otherwise.
Okay, well, speaking of corona-related stupidity, one social distancing politician fell prey to a classic prank while conducting a graduation ceremony over a webcast last month. While reading a list of graduates, Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves congratulated a student named Harry Ascrack.
Are you sure it wasn't Governor Mo Sislak?
Yeah, you could say that one slipped through the cracks.
I mean, come on, guys. That's the oldest one in the books.
But worry not, because while its governor may have been the butt of a high school student's bad joke, there's no evidence that any actual incompetence or stupidity in Mississippi state government, right? Well, maybe not, as Mississippi apparently spent at least $94 million in welfare money on NFL players, lobbyists, and pro wrestlers instead of its poorest citizens, according to a state audit released last month.
Well, to be fair, unlike a typical welfare recipient, at least they weren't going to blow the money on girls, booze, and dope.
Okay, maybe you missed the part where I said that the money went to NFL players, lobbyists, and pro wrestlers.
Ooh, yeah, good point. That cash is gone.
Speaking of pro wrestling, no wrestler in Florida is safe as the infamous WWE Performance Center stalker made his triumphant return to the headlines on Monday.
Wait. Oh my God, not that guy. The same guy.
Yes, he's back.
Yes!
Armando Alejandro Montalvo, who first made the news 5 years ago when he trespassed at the same WWE facility to, quote, smear a disgusting mixture of milk and feces on the walls, and got shot by the police for his trouble.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, when he did that, there was nationwide protesting in his honor, right?
No, not even close.
Must not have been an election year.
Anyway, he was at it again, this time confronting WWE wrestlers Dana Brooke and Lacey Evans outside the building during a taping of Monday Night Raw. Surprisingly, all it took to get rid of the stalker this time was to invite him in.
Wait, what? Like, I thought that was like his lifetime goal. Like, he literally got shot trying to break into the facility before.
Yeah, well, he thought it was a trap, so he left.
It's almost like he's crazy or something.
I mean, almost.
Actually, I this is too good of an opportunity not to, because, like, I don't know if anybody out there's heard of this guy before, but he's got the best Instagram on the web. It's gold. Like, this maniac, he posts like 20 videos a day. he's completely delusional. Like in one video, he'll be cutting like a pro wrestling promo, like spittle flying everywhere, challenging John Cena to fight him at WrestleMania. And then the next video, he's like cramming raw eggs in his mouth, like shells and yolk like falling out. And then like, but my favorite, like this is like half his videos. He's just like wandering around his neighborhood, screaming insanity at the top of his lungs.
Only in Florida.
Yeah, here, I'm gonna play one.
Okay.
Alright, so check this out and picture that, you're just sitting at home, minding your own business, trying to social distance, and this is going on right outside your window.
My new action hero name is Flirt Muscle, because my dick and my balls is bigger than Kurt Russell. My new action hero name is Blake Riskin, because I can escape from LA, I can escape from Orlando, and my dick and my balls is bigger than Snake Plissken. My new Hollywood action hero name is Flirt Muscle, because my dick and my balls is taller than Kurt Russell. And by the way, I'm taking over once and for all, because even John Carpenter says, damn it, that kid right there has got some big balls. My new name is Flirt Muscle.
I mean, I just don't understand why WWE doesn't just sign this guy.
I just have to say, the people who are talking about defunding the police do not live in Florida. Like, this guy's the worst neighbor ever.
Could you imagine that happening? Like, literally, like, he posts 10, 20, 30 videos like this to Instagram every day. What's he doing when his phone's out of battery?
I just cannot even imagine having to live anywhere near that maniac or having some occupational hazard of interacting with him as my job.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, he'd be the best promo on the roster. Can you picture Roman Reigns doing that?
Oh my god. Well, look, I don't know how we're going to top that, but we can try. For our first runner-up of Florida Man of the Week, #Florida Man stripped naked at a flea market, stole a car, broke into a home, ripped out a mailbox, kissed an old lady, and got arrested.
Oh, at least he found time for some romance and all that.
He did all of this in less than an hour. Talk about going to 0 to 100.
Real fucking quick. All right. So we got 2 nominees. We got any more?
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of moving fast, we've got another headline coming in with an impressive third-place finish in our Florida Man block. A Florida man lets 12-year-old drive Jeep 85 miles per hour. Now, he apparently told the child to speed because he wanted to be a cool father, even though he's not actually her dad.
Wait, like a Maury Povich thing, or?
No, he's literally not related to her at all. It was one of his friend's kids.
All right, that's kind of creepy. Like, honestly, nobody's beaten Fart Muscle over there, but I think this guy could take second place.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just a nightmare. It's a shit show in the Florida Man headlines, that's for sure.
Speaking of, it looks like we're getting a call from Florida.
Oh, boy.
561 area code.
There it is. All right, let's see what's going on here. Hello, caller. Why don't you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
Hey, girl, it's your boy Delroy Brown calling from Riviera Beach. I want to put my hat into the ring now.
Put your hat into the ring for what? Craziest
Yeah,
Florida
man.
man?
Yeah, you took the prize, the grand prize for the Florida Man of the Week. I'm here at Riviera Beach, Florida. Delroy Brown, One Love Caribbean. I want to win the grand prize.
Okay, well, Delroy, maybe there was some misunderstanding. There's no prize for being...
How much the purse?
No, there's no money to be won at all. The only prize there is the amount of shame you get.
Oh, come on, man. I need some money one way or the other. I'm really having a hard time lately. My restaurant's been going through it. I know the WOM Morons. All the people out there, they love One Love Caribbean. You gotta keep us going, man. You gotta go fund me, man.
Wait, so let me get this straight. You have a GoFundMe set up?
Yeah, you gotta go fund me. Run me down some money here. Anything helps. You got $1, You got $100, you got $1,000. You're gonna help One Love Caribbean. We've been through it, man. We've been through it. There was a riot. There was a riot. They burned down the restaurant.
Oh, well, that's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that.
They burned my restaurant to the ashes and the dust. There's nothing left. And I ain't got no money. I need you to come on down 222 Blue Heron Boulevard, Riviera Beach. Come down in person, or you can send me that money in the mail so we can rebuild, make a new restaurant.
Wait a minute. How are we going to come down to the restaurant if it got burned down to the ground?
Hey, what you trying to do, a gotcha? You trying to do a gotcha on me? Okay, you caught me. We didn't burn the restaurant down. The riot, they left me alone. They left I restaurant alone. But the man, they come by, shut me down. The health inspector man come by, shut I down. And Delroy, I ain't got no money.
Yeah, well, Delroy, I can't say I'm really surprised. I remember you. You're the dude who was serving up cockroaches in your restaurant. I mean, I can't imagine you have very many...
No, I didn't serve no cockroach. I serve a palmetto bug. I serve a alley cat that catch in the street. I serve a rat. I serve a mouse. I serve a raccoon. I found on the side of Barack Obama Highway. And then the health inspector man tell me that that's not protein. Come on, man, that's protein.
No, it's really not. I mean, I don't see why you're so shocked by this, Delroy. Nobody's going to come to your disgusting restaurant, so of course you don't have any money. And isn't this
you
like...
You don't gotta come to the restaurant, you just gotta go fund me. Delroy gotta make a car payment.
You know what, Delroy? I don't think anybody's going to be sending you any money to reopen your gross-ass restaurant. Isn't this like the 800th time you've been shut down? Why don't you just call it a day, man? Give up.
Yeah, health inspector man, a racist. He's a racist. The Black Lives Matter. How about Delroy's lives? You don't care about Delroy. You sound like you're a racist. Don't want me to have my restaurant open back up so I can serve you a gecko or a toad.
Now, that is really uncalled for, Delroy. Of course I'm not...
Don't fund me.
Go away, Delroy. Don't call again. Boy, we're really on a roll with the callers today. I swear.
I didn't know we had a contest for Florida Man of the Week. Is that something that, like, could I win it? I know it's our contest, but...
Yeah, I think that would be a conflict of interest.
How much is the prize?
We have no prize.
He just called up saying he wanted to win the prize.
Yep. Do you have the money to put up a prize? Because I don't.
I know how we could get it. Dr. Fellsmere is
Oh my god.
It's $20 for Dr. Fellsmere.
Yikes. Well, speaking of restaurants that may or may not be poisoning their customers, 3 NYPD officers became sick on Monday night from shakes they got at a Shake Shack in downtown Manhattan. The NYPD was quick to tweet that their officers nationwide were being targeted and poisoned, accusing the employees of the Shake Shack in question for doing exactly that. The only problem? Their investigation revealed that there was no foul play, and the reason the officers got sick was due to some cleaning solution being left in the ice cream machine.
Yeah, likely story. we know that they planned that far in advance.
Say nothing bad about Shake Shack. Honestly, I cannot believe they even were able to tweet that. Isn't that like libel or slander? I mean, like, didn't they break the law by tweeting about that?
Hey, the last thing that the cops need is another lawsuit right now.
The insanity only worsens with our next story, as one police officer broke down in tears after her McDonald's order was delayed. Her video has gone viral after she uploaded footage of herself breaking down hysterically after trying to order a breakfast sandwich from McDonald's because she's afraid that her food has been tampered with.
Well, yeah, I mean, you heard about what they did at Shake Shack, right?
Nothing! Look, has this bitch ever been to McDonald's? I can't tell you how many times I've been told to pull forward and wait for my food at McDonald's. If that's enough for her to have a full-fledged breakdown, she needs a damn psych eval and her gun taken away.
Honestly, though, I can tell you, I've broken down in tears at a McDonald's before.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a little different. They were tears of joy, because, well, first, the ice cream machine was working.
That never happened!
And then they got my order right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was, I'll remember that day forever.
Yeah. Now there's a video that should go viral. Now, while I believe the police are necessary, it's not hard to understand why they're not super popular right now. I mean, half of them are so paranoid they're going to be killed that they break down in the drive-thru lane, and the rest aren't disproving the idea that the police are corrupt. Case in point, a Louisiana police chief who has been accused of taking around $4,000 in cash seized by officers has announced his own arrest on social media, saying he will continue to do his job.
Now, that's an interesting power move. Like, yep, I've been arrested for embezzlement, for stealing from the community, but the good news is, I've just made an arrest and caught an embezzler. I will continue to do a great job from the county jail as the investigation continues.
It basically sounded like that. I mean, his quote really hit the nail on the head there. I mean, if I can read it, it's pretty outrageous.
Hey, go for it.
I won't debate the validity of the charge. I want to be in full disclosure. This does not affect me being the chief of police, and I intend to be as accessible as I have always been. Why let the criminal justice system work this issue out?
Hey, he's gonna let him work it out.
Talk about using your privilege.
Way to bring it full circle.
Oh, man. All right.
Just when we were gonna wrap.
Another call. I guess we better take it.
Yeah, 810. I mean, that's a Michigan area code, so I have a good feeling. Good people from Michigan.
Yeah, maybe it'll be someone sane. All right, caller, why don't you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
Hey, can you hear me now? Can you hear me on the phone?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
I'm on the radio? All right. Hey.
Hey, who is this?
Hey, it's Ernie. I'm from Ernie from Ypsilanti.
Wait a minute. Have you called in before?
Yeah, I called before. I want to call again, give you an update on how we're doing up here. I'm not in Ypsilanti now, but I'm coming home, so I'm on 94. I'm on 94 right now.
Oh, God, please tell me you're not, like, blasting Alex Jones all the way down the interstate.
I was just kind of listening to your show, actually, for some reason. It's because he's on vacation, you know. I ain't gonna listen to Owen. But you were talking about the police, and that made me think about that guy. I want to talk about that guy in Georgia. The guy in Georgia, he got shot by the police.
Oh, do you mean Rayshard Brooks?
Yeah, Rasheed Wallace got shot by the police in Georgia, and I think it's really bad that they did that. And I wanted to call and tell you that I think it's bad, and also tell you about how we're doing up here, you know?
Okay, I mean, I guess.
Really? Holy. Anyway, so here's the thing. They shot him because he was drunk driving, and honestly, I think that's wrong, because that shouldn't even be a crime. You know, we got freedom in America, and he was just trying to be a free man, and it's bad what happened.
Well, I mean,
I feel.
I'm not going to disagree with you that it's a shame he got killed, but drunk driving is extremely dangerous. I mean,
it's okay, as long as you're traveling, you know, he just didn't understand. Holy, whoopsie daisy. Oh man. But yeah, that's what I thought about him. I wanted to issue a retraction, because before I told you about our governor here, what's her name? Gretchen Wilson. I said she's a demon, and she's bad, but she's not a demon completely, because she opened up. We reopened Michigan. We can go to the restaurant. We can go to a bar. So it's really nice to go to a bar and get out again. I really appreciate that.
oh boy, that kind of explains some things. I mean, have you been drinking?
Yeah, Have I been drinking? I've been, I'm coming home now. I've been drinking down at the college, hanging out with the kids there. It's a good time because, I can teach them a lot of things and I educate them. Holy shit.
You should not be driving right now, Ernie. I mean, I'll just say that flat out. It sounds like you are.
How did you know I'm traveling?
Well, you just told me. You're on 94.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm on my way home from Ann Arbor. I had a few puffs. Holy fuck. Oh, shit. That was really close.
Oh, my God. Pull over.
Yeah, sometimes, the road just gets kind of small.
No, not normally.
Oh, boy. I don't know if you hear that.
Is that a siren?
Yeah, all right. Hold on. I gotta get to the side of the road here. Hold on. Oh, boy.
Thank God.
Alright. I think I'm stopped. I feel like I'm moving, but I think I'm stopped. And the speedometer's on 0.
I freaking hope you're stopped.
Ah, man, I don't know if you hear it. There's a policeman. Looks like a state trooper behind me. He's coming out of the vehicle now. Coming down in the car. That's okay. This is actually good. I was telling you about that guy in Georgia. I'm going to show you what he should have done. So as to not get shot. So I'm going to leave the phone on speaker so you can hear me good, okay?
No, I think you better go and deal with this.
That's okay. Hey, can you still hear me good? I got you sitting on the passenger seat.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Alright, so I'm going to show you what to do so you don't have to worry about it when you drink and drive. Oh, jeez. Alright, hold on. Yeah, I just got to find my license registration, please. My name's Ernie, and I'm calling for license registration. I'm a free man on the land, and I don't have a registration for this vehicle because I'm not driving the vehicle. For sure, I'm traveling the vehicle. You say you're traveling. You want a sovereign city? Hey, I'm a free man, and I do not consent, and am I being detained? You're about to be. Get out of the vehicle. I'm not in a vehicle, I'm a traveler. So I'm gonna get back and travel here. Look, I'm gonna ask you one more time, get out of the vehicle, sir. I'm gonna ask you, you're gonna need to read this pamphlet. It's gonna tell you about the maritime law. Oh shit, he's got a tanker!
Yikes. I'm just gonna cut the line there. So much for getting a sane caller on the line.
Oh my God, he just got tased live on the air.
Yeah,
He just got shot by the police. Is there any way to know if he's okay?
honestly, dude, I don't know what he freaking expected.
That was insane.
What did he freaking think? All he had to do was, I don't know, maybe not drive drunk, hand over his license.
I think he was on the right track. He had I don't know if you heard of it. There's this whole movement, the sovereign citizen movement. They've got special words and phrases that you can use to where you're unarrestable.
That's bullshit. It's not true.
No, he was saying I've heard some of this stuff before. I'm a free man on the land. Am I being detained? You don't ever say you're driving. It's traveling.
Oh, yeah, and it obviously worked out really well for him, too.
I think he might have been a little bit tipsy, so he probably got a couple of the words mixed up. That was so close, though. We almost got away with it.
No, I don't think he did.
I think I know the best way to settle this.
How?
We'll call Dr. Felsmere in Beverly Hills, California, the absolute best plastic surgeon. Sorry, I just had to get one more plug in.
If I hear one more plug for that idiot Felsmere.
Thank you.
You know what? Let's just call it a day. This has been quite enough insanity for 1 week.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week for episode 35.
Have a good one.
Brother, you better get down on your knees and pay. 1,000 more fools are being born.